Hello, everybody. I'm joined here with Ward Silver, N0AX. He's a big-time contester. He is the managing editor for the ARRL contest branch. Ward's
Right.
been licensed back since 1972. And the big thing he does now that I'm really impressed with is he does do a talk on ethics in contesting. Well, not just in contesting, ham radio, right, Ward?
Yeah, that's right. Contesting is just one little piece of ham radio.
I thought in lieu of, for those of you out there probably heard, a lot of stations got DQ'd for
Oh
CQ
boy.
Worldwide Sideband, which is another way of saying disqualified, about 80 stations to the tune. So I thought it would be timely to kind of talk about ethics in ham radios.
Okay. Well, ethics is what you do when nobody is watching, and morals is knowing the right path, and then ethics is choosing the right path. Actually taking it. A lot of us have that little, angel devil thing going on. I could do this, I could do that. Nobody will know if I turn the power up. All this kind of thing. Most of us know what's right and wrong, and contesting ethics is in the heat of competition, and you really want that certificate, you want to beat your competitors, well, you got to still play by the rules. So ethics is playing by the rules, even though there's no judge right there to look over your shoulder. That's what it's about.
And say you were to kind of bend the rules, break the rules a little bit. I mean, the worst part is once you fall under speculation from friends and other hams, it's kind of hard to come out of that, right?
That's right. It's hard to come out of it with other people, and it's hard to come out of it yourself. Every time you cheat a little bit and you think you get away with it, I think I can't remember who gave me the original metaphor, but it's like a little sharp wheel that digs in your conscience, and every time you let it dig in, it gets a little duller, and so after a while, you just stop caring about that. But other people notice, and eventually you build up a reputation. Oh, that guy runs too much power, or he poaches packet spots, or something. And basically, it all boils down to when you're not there, they look at each other and they go, "He cheats." So you don't want to be that guy. You just don't. There's obviously no money in this, no positive money in this. So what are you cheating for? That you get this little piece of paper or a plaque at the cost of everybody watching you go by and then saying he cheats.
And I'm guessing some people may be cheating, but they don't know that they're cheating. I mean,
well, there's a difference between cheating and having a rules infraction. And I get this a lot from people that say, "Why are you taking context out of my log? I wasn't trying to cheat." Well, it's like offsides in football, okay? You jump offsides. They're not accusing you of trying to cheat. It's just an infraction. So you whistle a play dead, you get a 5-yard penalty, you play over, okay? And there's an incentive to follow the rules. And now, if you read the rules and you say, "Well, I think I can get around that rule," that's cheating. Okay, so that's the difference. And some people, if you don't know and you get dinged for it, that's on you, really. So read the rules, know what the rules are, follow the rules, you'll be in good shape.
What are some of the more common things that people do when they cheat when it comes to contesting?
Okay, when they cheat. Well, I'm not, the laundry list, and everybody's out there, ooh, you can do this, you can do this. Well, for example, power is probably the most widely abused thing. You enter as a QRP station, but you're really running 100 watts, and people eventually know. Another one is cheating on all the various little band change limitations, and when you're supposed to be not having 2 signals at once, so you have to jump back and forth, and then you make a mistake, so you take a contact out of the log, or you have to take off time for a while, and then you sort of shade it on one end and you change those times of the QSOs in the log, and then you change the time in the other one. It's called rubber clocking. Now that we're all electronically checked, it's like 80-something%, 83% got checked in CQ Worldwide this year. A lot of that stuff goes away.
So if you work the guy at 12:53 and 20 seconds, and it's in his log then, but you're out of band change violations or whatever, so you put it at 1300 instead of that, you're going to see
right.
that 7-minute difference,
So,
and you're going
so,
to
so
know,
they can
hey,
see that in the log. Your times are right on, right on, right on, and then oh, suddenly they start getting behind, and then you're off, and then oh, they're ahead, and then finally they come back to average. So what you've done is sort of move that window. It's so much work to cheat. Wouldn't it be easier if you just put that effort into operating clean in the first place? So
well, and some people say they're not assisted and they're assisted, and there's ways to tell with that. So it
yep,
just makes more sense, like you said. Just don't
yeah,
cheat.
self-spotting and all sorts of
I mean,
strange.
is it really worth getting that certificate that says your first place when you know in your heart of hearts you did it unethically? So,
Yeah,
um,
it's bragging rights. It's like boys will be boys, but boys knock it off.
well,
You're gonna
and
get
I
caught.
think some people unknowingly do things like when I just got my CQ Worldwide log back. I started going through my not in the logs, and the first gentleman I came across is not in the log 3 minutes into the contest. So in CQ Worldwide, all the logs are public. So I went and I looked up his log. Well, his log didn't start till 15:53. I worked him on 20 meters, and his log started at 15:53 on 10 meters, and he was 10 meters only. So he must have decided to change in the middle of a contest from all band to 10 meters only. And I ended up not only losing that QSO, but two more, I believe I got penalized. Is that correct?
Right.
So,
Yeah.
and he
So
didn't even
if
have
it's
to do
not in
that,
the
right?
log, yeah, you get additional QSOs taken away as well. If you're a single band entry, even if you make contacts on other bands, send all of the contacts in. The log checking software takes care of that. And I think some people are just unaware of that. They're not trying
So if
to
he worked
cheat.
50 guys on 20 meters, he doesn't have to erase them. He's not going to get penalized for that
Just
at
leave
all.
them.
It's only going to look at his 10-meter contacts. It's going to ignore anything he made on 40 or any of the other bands. It's just
Yeah,
going to ignore that and with no penalty. So you
the
might as well turn in
software,
the whole log so
sure.
the other people you contacted, don't get penalized, right?
Correct. The log software, the log checking software looks at your catalog and says, oh, 10 meters only. Okay, I'm going to cross check these other ones, but I'm only going to count toward your score, the 10-meter contest QSO. So it doesn't matter. Just leave them in there. You don't have to take anything out.
Now, what if I accidentally make a QSO with somebody, and as soon as I enter it, I realize that was my 11th band change. I was out of band changes. You don't
Right.
want to delete that because that's unethical. So can I leave it in there? I mean, I want to make sure the other guy gets credit for it. I don't want to hurt him. What's the best way to handle something like that if you made a
Well,
mistake?
in every other sport known to mankind, you get penalized at that moment. The umpire goes, and you take whatever penalty it is that you get. The ethical thing to do is you submit a log with what you did in the contest.
And
You
take the
don't,
penalty.
that's the way it is. If you feel like it's okay on your end for whatever reason, there's this mechanism for CQ contest where you can put X hyphen. The hyphen is important in front of the QSO, and the software will just skip it. You don't get a penalty that you deserved, okay, but the other guy or gal doesn't get a penalty that he or she did not deserve. So you're doing a good thing, at least halfway when you do that. But
You're just
really,
getting
the
a
right,
little bit pregnant.
yeah, that's exactly it.
Now, in the heat of the moment, you're contesting and you're searching and pouncing and searching. All of a sudden, you work somebody and you were out of band.
Yeah.
Same thing on
Uh,
that.
Say,
Take the
well,
penalty. Do you get the penalty on
you
that
can
one?
take the penalty. With SDRs recording everything, what they'll see in the log checking is somebody running on 7035, listening 7228, and they'll hear that, hear that, hear that, and suddenly you pop up working them on 7035 or whatever it is. And they can go back and check that and say, yep, you called out a band, and they'll take that log, that out of your log one way or the other. And if you are sloppy and make a habit of it, you deserve to be disqualified. If
Somebody's sitting there running a frequency and it's getting really slow and it's calling CQ, CQ. So he decides to spot himself using his friend's call sign. That's a no-no, right?
right, or asking somebody
Or
else, hey, would
texting
you
your
spot
friend and
me?
asking them to spot you.
Right.
Now that's
You know,
self-spotting.
anything that allows people to go find you and make contact with you that they otherwise would not is not okay. It's like in state QSO parties, a lot of them
Oh,
say, yeah, by all means, spot yourself. We want activity. But in CQ Worldwide, ARL, other major contests, ixnay on the OTSPay, okay? Don't ask your friends to do it before the contest. Say, hey, if we all get together and every time I hear you, I'm going to spot you. That's cheerleading. It's just not okay. There's a document on the ARL website called Guidelines for HF Operating, and it's in the contest area. If you Google it, you'll find it. And it was written by the CAC some years ago. It's been updated, and it includes input from all the major contest programs at the time. And a lot of these frequently asked questions and situations are addressed specifically in that document. It's good reading.
well, it sounds good. And I have another question too. Say you're working someone in, and they give you the zone maybe 8, and you know they're in zone 4.
You log what they sent.
So, and they turn their log in as zone 8, even though they're in zone 4.
Right. The log checkers go, well, that's screwed up. And people are going to log them in 8 and 4 and 9 and everything else. And so they check a little box in their software that says NV9L was unstable in this contest. So don't give anybody any penalties based on Val's zone because she sent the wrong zone and people were correcting and stuff like that. So just log what they send you.
Okay, so log exactly what they send, even if you know they're wrong.
Yeah, this whole thing of log washing. You get done with the contest and the contest is over, 23:59:59, that's it. So what do you do after that before you send in your log? Well, if you've made notes to yourself during the contest, NV9P is really NV9L. Okay, then by all means, go back. That was a note that you made to yourself during the contest. That's okay. That was part of the contest during the contest. What's not okay is saying, okay, I'm going to play back the audio and I'm going to check all my stuff. And people actually used to do that.
People do that? That's crazy.
Yeah, but they did it. They would tape record the whole thing and they would just go as fast as they could go. And then they would go back later and figure out what the call signs were and put them in the log. And that's been...
Now, what if you misspelled somebody's name? Can you fix the misspelling, or are you going to get penalized if you spelled Dwayne like D-U-A-N-E instead of D-W-A-Y-N?
Or Chris or Gene or, any one of the ambiguous. Yeah. Generally not. And another thing is cut numbers. If you are copying, like in the WPX that's coming up here at the end of May, and somebody's sending E for 115 or something like that. What do you log? You can, and trust me, the log checkers deal with all of that. They convert all the cut numbers to the numerals that you were trying to get. So don't obsess over it. If you know that that's 115, enter 115. If you want to enter AAE, enter that. That's okay. The thing is, the contest is over when it's over. Anything that you write down to yourself or note during the contest is fair game. But after that, it's not okay, in my book, to go through and say, I worked NV9L on 3 bands, and here I've got NV9R on another band. I think I'll change that to L. No, that's not okay.
How about if you get an email? I've had this happen. I got an email. Yep. Their serial numbers were all screwed up. They gave me a 2. They meant to give me a 4. Can I go in?
Or can you confirm that we made a QSO?
No, not that. Like someone sent me an email. They gave me like a serial number 2, and it really should have been like a 6 or something. It was like right at the beginning, like they were having trouble with their serial number or something.
You say,
and
sorry.
Said, so you're really serial number 6. Can I go change it to 6?
I don't. No, you
did.
log what, everybody gets caught in that at some point.
Okay.
The thing is, right after the contest, as soon as you possibly can, get rid of your log. He
didn't want to see me get penalized because he gave me the wrong number, so I did change it. So I guess
Well, there is this category of stuff happens, and it happens to everybody. I go through my log later, and I go, oh man, I got I was sending the wrong something. And so I go through and change it, not thinking that what I'm doing is creating errors in everybody else's log. Don't change your log after the fact. When it's over, it's over. Just send it in. That way you won't forget.
Right.
You'll never
Oh
miss.
yeah, that's a really good thing to say is make sure you send your log in right away. I mean, because nowadays some of them you have 5 days to get them in. I mean, you got to get them in right away. Nothing worse than doing a whole contest and not getting your log in time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And then the results come out and you go,
where am
oh,
I?
oh, and it's like, what happened? I lost an all-time high score in one contest and category because I forgot to send in my log.
Yeah.
It's like Steve Martin said, I forgot. So
And I've done that where I haven't
not me.
sent
So
in a
now,
login because I was just working a bunch of guys and then I stayed in the chair longer than I meant to. It was just having fun. And before you know it, I had like a whole bunch and I was just kind of playing for fun for part time and I never sent the login. Finally, they emailed me and said, you got a lot of contacts with other people. Why don't you send your login? So I sent my login. I got first place USA in my category. It was,
hey,
some European
I want
contest,
to
but
send in that log.
send your logs in. Now, here's a really important question, Ward.
Oh,
What's the set list for the spurious submissions coming up next month?
we got 9, count them, 9 new songs this year, and it'll be fun. And
Are you doing the
no,
cover of the NCJ, which is a takeoff on the
no,
cover of the Rolling Stones? Okay.
no, that was out. We've
Okay.
got some from the band. We're revisiting some Pink Floyd. Yeah, we got all sorts. We got all sorts of
So
stuff. And
anybody that's going to be in Dayton, you don't have to be going to contest. You show up Friday night. What are you guys
right,
going about 9 o'clock?
10 o'clock is when the show gets rolling, and
10
then there's
o'clock in the
repeats at
super
11.
suite or the big ballroom on the second floor of the Crown Plaza.
Right,
So just
easy,
take
easy.
Uber is in Dayton. Take an Uber over there, and there's Cash Bar
Yep.
and lots of fun. Spurious
Yeah,
missions, lots
sometimes
of
we
fun.
have cute girls come up and sing too. Yeah,
Yeah, some that shouldn't, but
that
I
was
did have fun singing.
come see the band. It's fun. Something old, something new.
It's a
We're just having a
blast.
great time. Have a drink,
Yes.
have fun.
Yep. Well, thanks for joining us and kind of clearing a lot of things up about contesting and ethics, and I do appreciate it. And I will see you next month.
Yes, you will.